Hey guys, it's Minish, and once again, I find myself in a position where I have to make people mad. I talked to myself about it a while and I prayed on it, and once again, I am walking into the hole that was created in front of me, right? For anyone who's starting out saying Minish is a drama farmer, he always does this. There's many examples of me trying to de-escalate. There's many examples of like just not involvement. Like I didn't give a take on the PvP drama. I thought the whole thing was stupid. I think there is a lot of substance behind you guys just hate the devs in general, and you latch onto any negativity. Like I see it, especially when it's uncalled for, and even when it is called for, your prioritization on what you should be fighting for and against is never there. But in light of like my community, in light of the health of the game, I feel the need to speak out once again, and it never goes well. And I don't think today is going to be the exception. So I'm just going to bite the bullet, right? If I make you mad, that is not my intention. I will do my best to be level-headed. If you guys have a pre-distribution, like if you guys are like already have your opinions made up, I mean, I can't help that. But for those of you who actually are willing to listen, this is a conversation for you, right? So starting off, the new narrative that is being spread, I've been streaming for 4 years, but the new narrative that is being spread is I don't grind. So here is one of my 3 alts accounts, right? I have Minish Uwu, I have Minish Slave, and then I have Loutrid, right? But yeah, so on my alt account, which is just exclusively grinding, I have 1,574 hours. This is just grinding. That is nothing else. All it is farming dittos and gym reruns. A lot of you guys seem to forget or have no idea, right? The gym reruns you guys use, the 6 pillar strat, was a offshoot of a strat that I made 4 years ago, which was a Garchomp Aerodactyl gym rerun improvement strategy with the Typhlosions. I have been doing 2 gym reruns for years. I spent my first year almost being exclusively free to play, with the exception of ocarinas and donor status and events. If you want to say Minish is a whale who doesn't understand grinding, I mean, I don't know what I can do to change your opinion. I have almost 1,000 hours on 3 different alt accounts. One is at 1,500 hours. And if you just think I'm a whale, it is what it is, because I have become a whale. That is true. But the reason I become a whale is what I'm speaking about, right? You can't grind for half the income I used to have, right? And a lot of you guys don't know this, right? And I'm starting with my credentials before I work my way up there and piece my argument, because what we do whenever somebody's making a valid point in this community is we attack their character. And I hate it. There are so many wonderful people, and you can't just tell them, hey, look, you're just an idiot and I love you, right? Or we don't agree, but like there's no need to be negative, right? It's always just personal attacks, and I'd love to see it stop, even against the devs. And if anyone has a reason to hate the devs, it's me. Because about a year and a half ago, and I still haven't recovered, I was at 6,215 followers when this incident happened. To this day, I still haven't recovered. I'm only at like 5,300, right? And again, numbers don't matter. It's more so like the vibe of my stream, and I think I'm doing fine. But this has hurt me, and it leaves lasting damage to this day. A year and a half ago, I came back from deployment, and I used to have a gameplay loop, right? Which is one of the reasons I wasn't a whale for a while. I used to payday farm 18 hours a day, and I would do my 2 gym reruns every stream, and I would payday farm, and I'd make a passive 7 million every week, right? And I wouldn't have to spend money. I was affording my own eggs by catching my own dittos. Anybody thinks I don't catch my own dittos? I have a total of 13 shinies single encountered in the ditto catching location in Hoenn, and I catch my own dittos. Like, it's objective fact. I've hatched 200,000 eggs. I grind, right? And part of me grinding is paydaying. Part of me grinding is understanding reruns and the mechanics. And when they changed strings, when they changed payday, it really, really hurt me. And when they changed the events, it really, really hurt me. Because, again, I felt no alternative. I felt trapped, and I felt a need to speak out. And at first, I went in ignorant, right? Because it's one of 2 things. It's either extreme negligence or maliciousness, right? You have real players in a situation where if you produce too much income a day, you get a flagged account, which gives you a recapture notification and will payday lock you every 20 minutes from earning income. Second you step into grass, if you have earned too much income that week, that day, or whatever, however they choose to flag your account, right? And when you put in support tickets saying this is happening, 3 different moderation tickets gave you the same spiel that is a random and automatic system, a copy and paste paragraph, meaning they knew about the issue and they chose to do nothing about it. This was continually hurting players. So you have a couple ways to look at this. One, it's for bot protection, and this is what the community latched onto because that's what they said, and they always have a dumb excuse for every single nerf they give you. And you'll see this more and more, and this video is going to age more and more because they don't change their ways, and I want to be wrong. But they will give a dumb excuse, the community will latch on, and people will continue to get hurt, right? Back then, the reason they needed this system, it was anti-bot measuring. And then we had a bunch of people support me saying, look, this isn't even stopping the bots. This is affecting real players. We need a better system. Why is the support staff literally copy and pasting messages? Why are you training them to copy and paste messages? And why are you deleting forum posts? And this was right around the time where it came out that they were lying to us about shiny locks, which there's so much documentation of them saying there's no such thing as a shiny locking mechanic. And for any new players who know, if you don't beat a region quick enough, there is. Now, it's hard to determine, right, if that's the only one, because they told us for years there was none at all. And now there's suddenly this one. And this is happening around the time payday locks are happening, right? So I spoke out. And honestly, I didn't do it a good job, right? There was a bunch of people who kind of agreed with what I was saying, but because they weren't supporting me, I crashed out them. A good example is a great person I actually like now called Xanarchy, right? He said something like this isn't the right way to go about it in his opinion, and I said something like if you don't support me, the game is cooked and you're part of the problem. Well, here we are about a year and a half later, and the exact same things keep happening. Every event patch, they sneak in nerfs. One was the Payday Ditto nerf with Vaporeons, which everyone says is good for the game. Another one is even this patch, right? The string nerf, right? That was last Halloween. The string nerf was last Halloween. And then this event, it's E4, right? There's always a nerf every patch. And you'll always hear the same tired clauses. It's for balancing. It's for balancing. There's a million ways to balance this game, right? And every time, without failure, for the 4 years I've been playing, the way they choose to balance is to limit player income. And, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I said they're just dumb and incompetent. But the reality is they're not. They're just corporate greedy, right? They put me in a position where I went from free to play, where I was in a sustaining gameplay loop, and they systematically destroyed my sustaining play loop with the recaptures. I can't sustain anymore. I have no way to make that 7 million I used to make. If I was to do the same gameplay loop today, I would make 3 million a week, if that. And then I would still be suffering from recaptures, and I'd still be scared about having a bot detection system on my account. And they haven't fixed it. And it's been years now. And I just had to accept it. I just had to accept the fact that my odds of going 60,000 over odds is probably because of a bot detection system. So I'm just going to hunt hordes because I like this game. And I dropped it. I dropped my entire style of the game, and I dropped my enjoyment of the game. And the game also got noticeably worse because a lot of players in my community quit, right? I'm only saying this to establish a pattern of behavior, right? You will never see incentivized playing. You will never see like, people are, this strategy is overpowered, so we added this strategy, right? No, it's always just gut it. And now, what do you have as a free-to-play player? You can't earn half the income you used to off Dittos. You can't earn income off of E4 run. You can't earn half the income off of gym reruns. Your only option is to make 12 accounts and grind like a degenerate or put money into the game. There is no middle ground. And that's by design. Players are spending more money, and it's killing the longevity of this game. And I, who has now become a whale, want free-to-play players to play. I want my friends to play. The gaming experience gets worse if we don't lower the skill floor. And the skill floor has gone up and up exponentially. There used to be like, people would come into my chat, they'd be like, Minish, how do you make money? And I'd be like, you got Ditto Farm, you got all these ways. Now there's not, right? And the ignorance has spread all the way to alphas. Why are alphas underpriced? Well, reality, let's just sit here and have an honest conversation with ourselves about the alpha issue right now. Do you catch alphas? I bet at least half of you don't. Half of you throw a quick ball and move on. Shiny check, throw a quick ball. If you don't catch it, you move on. Funny enough, speaking of nerfs, because there's so many, there's hundreds I can't even talk about, you don't get XP candies off it. They've nerfed alphas like into the ground like 30 different ways. The enrage mechanic, the way dittos work, all of it. Alphas have been nerfed into the ground, where it's hardly worth catching except specific species of alphas. Because it's just, you're going to use more resources on balls, and your time investment isn't worth it. You're better off just not even bothering, right? And if you're not interested in the shiny, you don't even bother to shiny check. And I'm hearing suggestions from my friend Rocket MMO. If you want to see his video, I'll put it in the description below, right? Great YouTuber, I love him, right? And we had an adult conversation where I pretty much said your entire video I disagree with wholeheartedly, and I think you're going to make the game worse if they implement any of your solutions. Because he was saying you increase the exclusivity of alphas, and it's this nerf mentality, this nerf parroting like my brother in Christ. I don't catch alphas. Half my friends don't catch alphas. It's not worth our time. And you're trying to say the solution is to make them rarer? Right now, the only thing that benefits new players is the fact that breeding for a profit has nerfed the alphas into the ground, like the price. People look at the price and they go, wow, look at that symptom. Clearly, alphas are overpowered because they have 2x31 IVs. We need to do something. We need to get rid of the 2x31s. We need to decrease the rate. That's not the problem. The problem is the only good way for late game players to hunt or enjoy hunting is to breed for profit. And a lot of them are undercutting each other so much that they're breeding for break even or even breeding for small losses. So they're buying up all the alphas and they're breeding them into comp mons, and they're hoping they roll shiny. And then they're selling them for even below break even because at the end of the day, it helps sustaining their alpha hunt. And in the event it does roll shiny, they have a 5x31 alpha, which otherwise is inexhaustible. Like, you'll never be able to afford this hunt. It's cost billions. And the only thing that is currently benefiting new players is how cheap comp mons are. And our own community is dumb enough to call for the nerfing of alphas in ways that will just make it worse, right? It's not going to solve the problem. The problem is the only like good money making method is breeding for profit, and it's not even making money. And people are like, well, I want to breed for profit. I can't breed for profit anymore. It's because there's so much competition for it. If you want the price of alphas to be more regular, you need to have other ways to make money. Lepa farming is unfun. So many people farm lepas, and I know there's some people who love it. God bless you. I really need you guys to keep farming lepas. And I've heard great solutions, right? Like, we take the incubator, right? And we have like a little berry farm. We put a Pokemon in here, and then we have like 6 berry farms, and we still pay for the lepas like everybody else, but we can water berries like in here. That's such a good suggestion, right? But they're not going to do anything like that, right? But anyway, so berry farming is one way to make money. The other is breeding for profit. Gym reruns, you make 450K in a good run. Used to be able to make 780, easy. 780 easy. I do that twice a day. I beat Kanto, pop my 100% riches, beat the guy, easy. 780. They nerf strings, right? And I actually had fun Jimmy running twice a day because I wasn't staring at a trainer for every 20 seconds during my runs. And now it's accepted that this was okay. And now it's accepted that nerfing E4 is okay. It's accepted that they added a thing to help with Pumpkin King that people are using for hard mode, and then they go, oh, it wasn't supposed to be used for hard mode. Why did you give us an item? And by the way, I grinded for 9 hours to get that item, to use it the next day only for it to no longer exist, right? Why is that item in the game? To help with easy mode? To help the flinch chance with easy mode? You're telling me you made a whole item for easy mode? No. I 100% guarantee you it was intended for hard mode. You just didn't like the amount of money players were making. And why? Because you were too lazy to not repackage the same event we already broke last year. And then you're like, oh, well, what do we do? A lot of people are hyper farming this event. What should we do? Okay, we're going to nerf it. Oh, well, the people are still making money. We're going to nerf it again. And strats like this, like mine, right, which I was going to show, and I'm actually grinding even though I'm not making any money because I'm trying to be a good content creator and show people how to beat Pumpkin and do something fun. You ended up nerfing, not once, I think twice, maybe 3 times, what's the ability? Whenever Drifloon dies, I'm a little tilted. Whenever Drifloon dies, you nerf the damage output off of it, which affects my strategy and affects a lot of other strategies. Because again, you're not thinking in terms of, will this hurt the community? You just see a problem and you go, this is a solution. You just implement it without thinking. So again, it's either extreme negligence or maliciousness. There's no middle ground at this point. Like you always resort to nerfs. It's always nerfs. When have we seen a buff? You look at the old gym rerun guides, right? And you look at my video 5 months ago complaining about the same thing, saying, people were asking me right before this. They're like, Minish, are you excited for the new event? I'm like, yeah, I wonder what nerf they're going to slip in this year. And it happened. I even jokingly said gym reruns. E4 reruns. And it happened. Like, it's so playbook at this point. It's like they realize they make more money when they nerf things and they just keep doing it. And I hear narratives like, oh, dude, they only made like 20K this event. Bro, they made 14K from me alone. I've been keeping the RP price low for everybody. Because I'm predicting a recession this time around. I think there are a lot less people playing Halloween event this year. And the community has been dying. So many late game players are selling their every particle mons. I know because I have 19 of them at this point. And I think people are predicting, because RP always goes up, I think we're going to have an anniversary RP inflation where so many people are selling and so many people are heavily invested in RP and they're waiting for the price to climb. Because I realized, right, because I'm coming from the anniversary recession, and I saw a lot of the same signs, and I saw RP was too high, and I saw the prices of everything was too low, and I knew in my heart of hearts, and I told everybody who would listen on stream, there's going to be an RP recession. There's going to be an RP recession. I feel it's going to happen. Sell your RP now. Right now is a good price. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. And I was 100% right. I cashed out all my RP right before. I got a lot of buying power, and I took my low 2 billion, 2.7 billion, and I made like at least 1.7 billion profit this event. And it's disgusting that I can do that because free to play, the space between the super rich and free to play is growing exponentially. And then I'll hear it from other players, even my friends, and I have to explain to them. They'll be like, well, back in my day, if you really grind Pumpkin King, you can make 300 million. Bro, I am losing money on Pumpkin King now. Like, I'm doing the cost, my hourly cost, as I'm putting the particles on my mon, because I'm making sure all my OTs have the new particle. Right, and I have 130 to do, and I figure it's fun and I'll do it on stream. After all these nerfs, I am unironically not making a profit. And just like the icing on the cake yesterday, they changed it from 5 to 4. Like, people are already not farming Pumpkin King, and you're gonna change it from 5 to 4. Like, I don't understand how they keep doing this, and I don't understand how you as a community keep allowing it to happen. Right? And you're seeing people just leave. So many people left after the payday locking and the shiny locking. So many people left after the string changes. So many people left after the ditto changes. And you guys keep going. And luckily, there's been a faucet of new players coming in. So much so that you guys don't even know I used to grind this game religiously because players just traditionally don't stick around. And very few of us have been consistently playing for the last 4 years. Right? And a good example is this. Let's just look at Petrowski, the #1 content creator. He has 72.4K subs. My boy Epoch has 4.5K subs. He gets about 2.4K views of video. How much does Pat get? Wow. Right? You know what this is? This is the health of the game. This is, Pat has been going for so long and so little people continue to play the game and enjoy this game's content that he's competitive with a guy who's not even 1/20th of his size. Like, what are we doing? Like, how do we not realize there's a problem? I buy alpha every particle mons for sport. I had 5 every particle Charizard OTs, and I breed all my Pokemon like this just for fun because I get to go, oh, this guy killed somebody's prize Charizard. This guy killed somebody's prize Breloom, you know? And we see the deteriorating health of this game, and then we all act like it's fine. We act like it's a travesty to add a safety net when people are spending thousands of dollars, or since you guys always go, well, he's a whale and you write off whales' concerns, fine. Someone, if you were to play for 20 years consecutive, earning the old income, not the new income, the old income of $700K a day, it would take you 20 years to hatch no shiny. And you think that's good game design. You also, no one talks about this. There is envy, right? Because a lot of us are terminally online and don't have God or any sort of goodness going in our life, where you will see somebody hatch a shiny at like 11K and you'll think, man, I'm not going to say GG's to him. He didn't earn it. Like that's where we're at right now, where people are getting mad at each other. Somebody gets a lucky starter, they post it, and then they get flamed. That's the community health right now, and I see it all the time. Like, you didn't really earn that shiny. Bro, oh, you got a swarm? That doesn't count as a shiny. My brother in Christ, like what are we doing as a community to have that kind of mentality, the crabs in the bucket mentality, right? And like on that note, right, there's a site and it tells you your numbers, and because you can go onto your Twitch thing, and I have had 17,000 followers lifetime. 17,000 followers. Now, granted, I've had my issues, right, and I've crashed out on people. I tell people off all the time. That's my thing. But for me to have had 17,000 followers on Twitch in the last 4 years, and be the size I am, for Petrowski to be the size he is and have the viewership he has, what is the health of this game? And like, what incentive does a new player have to grind? What can a new player grind? What can a new player do to get to my level? The events aren't what they used to be. I'll link this video, but this was from 5 months ago, and look how this aged. I'll put the clip in right now. And I'd like to support this game. I think it is the best MMO, even with all these flaws. But it's just disgusting because all I see are free-to-play nerfs. I don't see any like value in what's going on. I don't see any value in nerfing strings. And I don't get it, man. I don't get it. You can release the same events every year, but now you're not even doing that. Now you're releasing the same events every year, and you're adding a gotcha ball gambling system to further drain whale resources, and you're nerfing very, very heavily free-to-play metrics and free-to-play profit from these old events. And it just stinks, man. And I think we need to talk about it more. You need to talk to the developers and be like, look. But yeah, look how that aged. They do the same playbook every year. And I am not going to speak out, right? You guys saw already. You saw what happened last time I did. And I got banned for this. And to be honest, it's not worth my time. I'm only making this for you guys who still play this game. And I'm obligated as a community member to say something, right? But it's getting worse, and it's going to keep getting worse. I told you about this 1.5 years ago, right? You need to stop defending the devs. You need to all prioritize the same issues, and you need to call out, by the same token, the bad actors, the people who are just trolls and flaming the devs. You guys need to stop too. You need to say something like, why don't we have a mailbox system where I have to click? Why can't I just auto select items on the GTO with the arrow keys? Why can't I go into my mail and do this? Why do I have to individually click back and forth? And when you're sitting on 428 items, that's annoying. Why can I not trade 60 mods at a time? Why are we adding an entire tier of VGC before we fix the mailbox UI and we fix the trade right? I traded 39 boxes over 9.5 hours. Is that fun to sit there and trade? That's two people's time getting wasted for 9.5 hours to get dittos onto an account. But we're adding a VGC tier, guys. POKEMMO is saved. Every event, I'm just like, what are they going to nerf now? What brain dead decision are they going to nerf now? And people are, as I said earlier, people are looking to blame alphas for like not being able to breed for profit. Every late game player is breeding for a profit. That is why you can't breed for profit. There is nothing else in this game worth grinding. And I've been in the World of Warcraft community. I've had similar concerns in the World of Warcraft community, and they never listened. And no one plays that game anymore. Is this game going to die? No. There's a bunch of losers like me who are going to keep playing. But this game is never going to get any bigger. And it's high time that we accept it. It's high time that we talk about changes or you do anything. Again, if you guys want to make forum posts, if you guys want to cut my issues out, focus on what actually needs to be done, I'll support any other content creator who wants to step out against the devs. I'm not doing it this time. Last time, it was a very horrible time and IRL for me. I almost lost my father and during that harassment campaign. And there was a lot of other things, and I didn't appreciate it. And I still don't. And I'm not going to do it again. But if anybody wants resources, if anybody wants help, if anybody wants me to curate your forum post before you post it, if any other content creator wants me to link things they have done in the past, so you can make content on this, we need to, as a community, say something. Or our game is just going to stagnate. And I'm tired of seeing it. That's pretty much it, guys. I love you.